So there's another crazy theory about the show Squid Games.
Dude, I love Squid Games.
Okay, don't you think it's kind of weird how we never see how like the red-suited workers get hired or picked?
Yeah, it's weird how they never explain where they come from.
Okay, so remember when the guy in the subway tells Gion, do you want to play a game? And Gion has to pick a color to play Dachi. Now he gives Gion a choice where there's the red card or the blue card, and Gion picks blue.
Right.
So there's a theory going around that the color you pick determines the role you play in Squid Games.
Wait, what do you mean?
So since Gion picked the blue card, he woke up as a player, right? Wearing like that greenish blue jumpsuit. But if he were to pick red, then he would have woke up as a worker in the red and like this helmet. Because just like the players, right? The workers are also number 2.
Oh, so all the contestants must always pick blue.
And the workers are the red cards.
This Squid Game theory will blow your mind. Spoilers ahead. There is an online theory circulating that the old man may be really Gi-hoon's dad. Throughout the series, there are signs of this, including when Gi-hoon is getting his milk. He tells the old man that he is lactose intolerant, and the old man says his son was like that as well. Also, during the marbles game, the old man says that his son's birthday is coming up, and it is the 24th right now. Gi-hoon's birthday is revealed in the last episode to be October 31st. This means that present could have been for Gi-hoon.
This is a spoiler alert for Squid Games. If you haven't watched it, keep scrolling. All right, ready? Ali is still alive. I'm not in denial. Just hear me out on this. All right, the first reason I think this is because Ali died off camera, right? Whenever a character dies off camera, there's a huge chance that they're gonna come back. The only other character that dies off camera in the whole show is Ilnam, and he comes back later on, and they fake his gunshot. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Ali's such a likable character. They wouldn't want to do that in front of us, right? No, very likable character. They busted her whole skull cap off right in front of us. Another example of a likable character, actually the most likable character, right in front of us. Why not Ali? Which brings me to my third reason. These employees, what do you think they're hiring these employees? They're not hiring these guys off of Indeed and Snagajob. These employees have to be former players that lost, that they just kind of picked out, right? I know this because this guy was also a former player. He just happened to be the winner. Now he's the front man. Ali's alive. He's gonna be a worker next season, and he's gonna help him dismantle the whole game.
So there's a crazy theory about Gion and the old man from the show Squid Games.
All right, let's hear it.
So remember how close the old man was to Gion?
Yeah.
So there's a theory that the old man is actually the dad of Gion.
Wait, what?
So in episode 3, Gion asks for chocolate milk when the workers are handing out regular milk because he's allergic to dairy. And then the old man says, I'm willing to bet as a kid you got spanked a lot. And then Gion says, how'd you know that? Then the old man says, my son did too. He was just like you, friend.
Wait, what the? He's basically saying that he's exactly like his son.
And then when they're playing the marbles game, the old man says, you know, when I was a kid, I lived in a neighborhood just like this. And then Gion says, so did I. And then when the old man starts to lose his memory, he asks Gion, what day is it? And he says, is today the 24th? Because his son's birthday's in a couple days. And guess what day Gion's birthday is?
What?
At the beginning of the show, when Gion's trying to get money out of the ATM, he types in his birthday as a pin. And his birthday is April 26th. Just a couple days after the 24th, just like the old man's son.
Stop it.
Yo, I have another theory about Squid Game though.
Okay, bet.
So like, right when I saw it, I'm like, damn, this gotta be it.
Yeah.
So, you know, you ever heard of like subconscious marketing? Like you'll
Yeah.
see things that remind you of other things, right?
Yeah.
What if Squid Game was actually an ad for PlayStation?
Oh,
If you think about it, subconsciously, every time we saw the triangle, the circle, the square, what did it remind you of?
PlayStation, fam.
PlayStation.
The controller.
And what does PlayStation have to do with Squid Game?
Yeah.
Games of violence, playing games, shooting games, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It all ties together, bro.
Oh my god.
And it's an Asian company. Because Sony, PlayStation.
Oh, that makes sense.
It all ties because I saw them like, okay, that's what they're doing.
At the end, you see, you know.
Wait. The phones they had, did they have Xperia phones?
Oh,
Yo, I think they did, right?
Did they?
I think they did. I think they had Sony Xperia phones because they didn't have iPhones.
if they did,
Bro, I'm on the ass, bro. I knew it.
that's crazy.
Because they didn't.
Crazy Squid Game theory. Spoiler alert. Okay, so this is another theory about how the red mask guards are recruited. The theory is that the players who decided not to return to the game are now working as red mask guards. After the majority voted to discontinue playing and went back to the outside world, 187 out of the 201 remaining players returned back to the game. That leaves 14 people who decided not to return to the game because they didn't want to put their own life at risk. Frontman said to keep an eye on those who didn't return. He said this because they will be given another opportunity to return to the game and repay the debt, but as a red mask guard. For the players who didn't return, the main concern is their life will be at risk. As a red mask guard, your own life won't be at risk as long as you don't break any rules, for example taking off your mask, and they can earn a lot of money once they complete their contracted time. It's also a way to prevent them from leaking all of the crazy things happening inside to the outside world. If you add those 14 people who refused to return this year, with all those who refused to return in previous years, it would add up to more than 100 at least, which is kind of consistent with the number of guards. Do you think there's any connection between the players and the Red Mask guards?
Have you seen Squid Game? This TV show has got some crazy stuff going on. We're a group of desperately indebted people play a deadly tournament of children's games. And it's difficult to figure out who's the hero of this story. One could argue it's the main character. Another could argue it's the police officer. But I'd argue differently. The actual hero is the policeman's phone. First time we see his phone, it's at 50%. And this is only day 2 of the games. And Squid Game has 6 games over 6 days. His phone's gonna make it another 4 days at 50%. You don't see a charger or electricity in this room. And the policeman was taking videos, making phone calls, and trying to send massive video files. And his phone never let him down. In fact, his phone ended up making it to 12%. The real hero of the story.
I may have figured out how the workers in Squid Game are hired.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I know you said the dashi cards determine who the workers are, but they turned out to be someone else. So remember when the detective is going through the front man's room and he sees all the files of all the players and winners of Squid Game throughout the years?
Yeah.
And we know all the contestants are in debt because of gambling and other stuff like that. But there's a theory that all the workers are actually past winners of Squid Game that gambled all their money away and went back into debt. So they were then offered to be a worker because it would be unfair for them to go back and play a game they've already won. And we know the games are all about equality and fair chance.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the reason why they're not hesitant to kill anyone is because they're past winners. So they've already seen so many people die and be killed when they played. And we also get to see what some workers look like. Like some are old and some are young, just like the contestants of the game.
It's crazy to me how good of a show Squid Game is.
Did you know that the players in Squid Game could have actually seen what games they'd be playing before they even played them? Between the matches, the characters were all placed into a room filled with bunk beds, and though this seemed just like a rest area, if you look at the walls, they're actually filled with significant markings. As the beds get slowly stripped away, it's revealed that these paintings are actually all of the games that the players would be playing throughout the tournament. First is red light, green light, there's also the honeycomb game, tug of war, the glass hopping one, the 3 at the table, and lastly the titular Squid Game. The series itself is filled with clues to the eventual reveals, and this is also the case with the player who's behind the entire thing. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
I have just found the most insane Squid Game theory out there. If you've seen this TV series, you might want to listen up because it's definitely going to make you go, oh, damn. Obviously, spoiler alert from right now of season 1 of Squid Game and potentially season 2 if I'm right. What would you say if I told you that the old man and Jia Hun are actually father and son? Low-key kind of rhymes, so it definitely makes sense. Let me take you through the scenes that point to this. Let's start with this scene where all players are given bread and milk. However, he asked for chocolate milk because he couldn't digest normal milk as a child. But then right after 001 came up to him and asked if he got spanked a lot, and when he said he did and how did he know, he said my son did too, and he's just like you. What? Not proving it for you? Okay, let's go over to the marble game, where the set of that game was designed to just be a normal neighborhood. The old man actually recognized it and said he used to live in a neighborhood just like it, and Jia Hun said, so did I. And just when we think the old man is losing his marbles at the end, no pun intended, he asks what date it is. Jia Hun says it's the 24th, and he says he has to go home because he can't miss his son's birthday. At the start of the movie, when he typed his birthday into an ATM, it was the 26th. Send this to someone who's seen Squid Game because they need to see this.
Okay, this comment right here is actually a good support to the theory as well. Spoilers for all of Squid Game if you have not seen it yet. And if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. So I've thought about this, and my theory for season 2 is that Ji-yoon is actually going to go undercover as a worker in the games. Just like how the detective went undercover, but this time he's going to try to take it down. When Ji-yoon plays the first game, he's wearing a blue hat. And he becomes a player later. At the end of the show, he dyed his hair red. But he's decided to go back to the show and take it down. He can't go in as a player, so he has to come in as a worker. Now let's take a second to talk about the workers because I think you guys are confused. Remember, there are ranks when it comes to the workers. Circles are workers, they do not carry guns, they are given instructions by their superiors, but they don't actually kill people, they're the ones that burn the bodies. Triangles are the soldiers, they are the ones that kill. While the squares are basically like second in commands. Yes, these shapes come from the Squid Game. Listen, if you were offered money to be a worker, you would do it.